Hey guys. Welcome to it. Here we are. It is another Friday. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So here we are. Fridays at 5 o'clock with flavor. And boy, 2020. So this week was yet another just real roller coaster of a week. I mean, the ups and downs, the highs and lows. I don't know if other folks are experiencing the same thing. Yeah. Um, for a little bit, for a couple of days, I thought we were going to be making a really awesome, exciting announcement about the possibility of, I don't know that I would say expanding rhythm and flavor, but there was definitely, we were really close to having a Brazilian presence. Um, just to kind of help us forge that pathway to the kind of life we want, where we get to come and go and have a presence in Brazil and have a presence here in the United States. Um, as it turns out, the particular opportunity that was looking most like it was going to be the right one for us is not the one for right now. We actually just made that decision today. So a little bittersweet. I was kind of getting super excited, but I think also what the last few months have really taught me is it is always worth doing the effort to prioritize one's well being. It is always worth doing the effort to learn how to advocate for oneself. And I'm even more realizing that when I advocate for myself, I'm also advocating for a lot of other people who might be in similar situations. So I'm kind of trying to embrace that a little bit more and more. Um, so we will be here in the States, at least for a few more months. And there may be, we're trying to find a way to at least go there for June, July, and August of this year, so we don't have to spend another miserable summer in Phoenix, because that was a real, that was rough during pandemic. Um, but that's, I think, one of the most important lessons I've had to learn, is that I can get excited about an opportunity as long as I am also being very diligent about making sure all the ducks are in order. And if they're not, if there's anything that makes it seem like it's not the right thing right now, then to just sort of, step away. The thing that's really exciting about living in the world right now, as crazy as it is, and as unsettling and unstable as it is, if you think of how life works as a kind of sort of, mechanism, almost like as a machine, um, when there are more gears open, there's a lot more flexibility for possibilities to emerge. So right now there are opportunities and possibilities flying around, and there's also a lot of ambiguity. So both the ambiguity and the opportunity are sort of two hands to the same mechanism. And so, we're just trying to stay open to all the possibilities and make sure we know how to also keep our stable base while at the same time growing. So there are things in the works. There are things in the works everywhere. We're kind of starting to have those sit down meetings right now, that we have had at the end of 2018 and the end of 2019 to really decide what are we going to focus on creatively for the next year. So I would invite you all to follow us on one of our social media platforms. We've now got a The Rhythm and the Flavor Instagram, which is specifically for our band, for our music. I still have my Laurel Ann Porter Instagram. We've got Facebook representation for me as a, if you're my friend, you're there already. There's also me as Laurel Ann Porter, singer songwriter. We don't have a Rhythm and Flavor Facebook page yet. It almost seems a bit overkill at this point. And we've also got our Patreon. We're looking to start figuring out how we can really connect with our folks through Patreon as well. We've actually got a lot of content on there already if you feel like perusing to see, because there's a lot of stuff that we've got available for free there. But 2021 is when we're going to start really hunkering down to figure out how a lot of these monetizing networks work. So stay tuned for all of that. Health check-in. The current situation is that I have been prescribed a new medicine to try to help take care of all of the chronic pain that I have. So far, I haven't had any awful side effects like I did with the other one back in August. Don't know that it's being amazingly helpful in making everything feel better. Still having a little bit of pain, so we'll have to probably try to see. I think I read that this one might need a couple of weeks in the system before I can start feeling some of the benefits. But yeah, the feelings of overwhelm started to creep in this week. Even though we were super very glad for when they finally called the election for Joe Biden. If you pay attention to the news, you know that there is some fuckery going on, and we all have to be prepared for the possibility that a certain troll in the White House might be trying to unlawfully and illegally continue his position of power when he doesn't deserve it. He has been voted out and he needs to go away. So, yeah, we got to stay aware. We got to stay vigilant. And we also need to help make sure that Georgia is solidly blue, both in the Senate and for the presidential race, because there's so much work to be done. There's so much work to be done. And I know the Democratic Party has its flaws. Right now, it's kind of the best we got right now. So hopefully things will improve over the next 4 years, and hopefully they won't stay stagnant, and hopefully they won't go in a reverse direction. And that's up to us. We need to make sure that we are talking to our lawmakers, letting them know what are our priorities. Right now, it seems like the biggest priority needs to be to get a handle on misinformation campaigns, which seem to be destroying the very fabric of our society and our kind of social contract with each other. That seems like it's been a little bit broken, a lot broken, like collapsing. So, there's work to be done there. Yeah. So, in terms of health, yeah, I finished the 6-week protocol, started to finally add wine back in. I'm a lightweight now, though. So I'm not going to toast yet until the end of the broadcast for you. Still got a lot of work to do, so it's just kind of sitting there, staying ready. The other thing that I kind of wanted to just sort of put out there is that still learning how to communicate my value. I think that probably for a lot of us who are artists, we get sort of conditioned to think that artists don't have value, since it's always the first thing on the chopping block when it comes to public funding. And I think that me, and probably a lot of creative folks as well, have had to learn really hard how to reject that thinking and embrace the worthiness that we all have as creatives, to be valued for our contributions. So I hope you are all learning how to do that for yourselves as well. I'm still learning how to do it. And I also know that we don't do the best work that needs to be done alone. We do it in collaboration with other people. So whatever artistic or creative collaborations you have going on, please nurture those. Those are probably the things that are going to carry us forward into hopefully a newer and more humane and more sustainable system of the way we operate in the world. We're about long overdue for some of those kinds of changes. So I'm really grateful that I'm kind of generally feeling better. Some of my colleagues that I work with are like, "Are you ready to come back to teach?" I was a little scared this week when I started thinking about planning. Like those feelings of overwhelm came in when I just really was questioning my capacity. And it is true in academia in general and in our institution specifically, on our campus specifically. We're a small campus, we're a new campus, and so everybody is working really, really hard, probably more than they should be asked to work. Um, we're all one person departments. And so I'm hoping that as we move forward into 2021, that all of us together collectively can begin to start advocating for ourselves, for more humane working conditions, for more sustainable working conditions, for a better balance. We always talk about this work-life balance at work, and yet it's never balanced. Even, Mike asked me, I think today or yesterday, well, shouldn't you be able to leave your job at the office? And I thought, oh, that is not how teaching jobs work. We don't get to just let it stay at the office. There's prep, there's grading, there's and even one of my colleagues was talking about how sometimes we end up being, especially this year, we end up being, almost counselors to these students. I think that's why I felt so strongly about taking a leave, because I don't feel qualified to do that, or I didn't as the semester was about to start. I still don't think I'm the best person to, Mike and I were watching that Jim Jarmusch zombie movie that came out, and there is a sort of ongoing debate, kind of, or it's just a few lines here and there, just between two of the characters. And it's like, when you're in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, do you try to tell people it's okay, everything is going to be okay, it'll all turn out okay in the end, or do you just flat out say this is not going to end well? And so at a certain point, I was like, I can't tell my students that it's all going to be okay, because I really, really wasn't sure that it was. We're still never sure, but we have to find our way through through something that can give us a little bit of just comfort, stability, so that it's not all despair and doom and gloom, because there's plenty of that out there. So yeah, keep tuning in to Rhythm and Flavor stuff. We hope to have some really exciting opportunities to see kind of our process, our creative process. We're going to be doing a lot of that for a couple of our new projects. We kind of gave ourselves two sets of strategic goals for some of our creative projects for the year. So yeah, I think that's probably all I'm going to do for our check-in today. The song I want to share with you is just a reminder of the song that we wrote as a response to the pandemic, especially now that they're really asking us to hunker down even more, and they're asking us to shelter in place even more than we already have, and they're asking us to self-quarantine even more because the numbers are spiking everywhere in the United States. That's a bit of a tough pill to swallow when we've been doing it for 6 months already, and we're not seeing any results, because there's not enough people taking it seriously, especially from the top down in this country. So this song is Souls in Isolation. I'm going to go ahead and play you also the music video that goes with it, because we have access to that. As a reminder that, it feels like we're all isolated right now. It feels like we're all unable to connect. So we just need to remember that we're all in that same situation. We all need to reach out to each other, and we all need to make sure our connections are somehow fostered during this time when we can't see each other physically. We are toying with the idea of possibly doing a socially distanced sort of private party screening for our December 4th live stream show. However, we're also trying to be very mindful of the CDC guidelines. And so we want to make sure we honor everybody's safety level. We want to make sure we honor everybody's comfort level. So stay tuned. We're going to kind of just see how things play out. We're not sure how it's going to be. But if you have ideas, or you have, if you want to participate in some way, if you have ideas about how to connect virtually during our live streams in a way that's meaningful, that feels fun and feels good, just, let me know. Put comments here. Definitely follow our two channels. There's this one, the Laurel and Porter, or I think it's actually, is it Laurel and Porter? I think it's just my Laurel and Porter channel. Follow our YouTube for Rhythm and Flavor Productions. Join us on Patreon. Buy our music on Bandcamp, the rhythmandtheflavor.bandcamp.com. So here is now, without any further ado, Souls in Isolation by the Rhythm and the Flavor. Here I go once more into the fray. I cannot keep this crazy world at bay. Here I go once more into the fire. I burn myself, I purge myself, just trying to stay inspired. We are souls in isolation, losing sight of what it's all for. Give it all I can, and then I'll give some more. When I hear you calling out my name, I wake up and reach out, but you're not there with me. When I find myself on hallowed ground, close my eyes and try to see you smile at me. We are souls in isolation, losing sight of what it's all for. Give it all I can until I have no more. Looking for some time to heal our soul. What will it take for us to feel whole again? What's it gonna take for us to see the value of the humans looking back at me? 'Cause I need you, and you need me, and I need you, and you need me, and we need us to be one humanity. That is true for sure. We do need us to be one humanity, and we need to work to heal the divisions, and we also need to work to dismantle the white supremacy that has been keeping so many people down for so long. It's important, and no, we won't let anybody tell us that those words are not okay to use. One of the other reasons that's really celebratory that I wanted to share that song is we just got word this past week that it's going to be aired on the February 15th episode of a podcast called Women of Substance. So I will put the link in the description. So if you want to tune in on the 15th, definitely I encourage you to do so. And I was checking out their website, and they've got a really wide variety of music available. That's all by female artists or female-led bands, and it's just a really fun, nice way to get to know new music, maybe that you'd never heard before. These seem to all be sort of women writing socially conscious lyrics, so you're in good company with the Rhythm and the Flavor. So, thanks again for joining us. I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. I hope you're all being safe. Mask up. It's the least we can do right now, right? All right, cheers.